What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy P2 Player Man, and I'm back with another reaction video. And today we got three true school lockdown horror stories. I be liking that scary shit, so I'm finna tune into this. And these are true stories and shit, so shit. I mean, we gonna see what's happening with it. You feel me? But yeah, so make sure y'all get y'all popcorn. You feel me? Don't be scared. Don't be little girls. Lock in and watch this shit with me. You feel me? But before we get to the video, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Leave a like down below. You feel me? We still on the road to 100 subscribers. You feel me? So I appreciate everybody that subscribe to my channel. Make sure y'all turn me up on the notifications. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the love that I got so far, and I know we're gonna grow from here. So without further ado, let's get it popping.
Three students from Westlake High had gone missing in the past month. The police were out on the hunt. Some said they'd been spotted at the abandoned mall on Route 16. Others whispered about a van circling the neighborhoods around school. Our parents started driving us to class. Teachers patrolled hallways during breaks, and the district implemented twice-weekly lockdown drills just to be safe. The first thing I noticed wasn't his face, it was the smell. Copper and chemicals, like pennies soaked in bleach. Our regular history teacher had been out sick for 3 days. This substitute, Mr. Rowan, carried himself differently from other teachers. While he wrote on the whiteboard, his sleeve inched up, revealing a dark stain his hasty washing hadn't quite removed.
Man, if a substitute teacher come to my class looking like that, what? I'm about to be on guard. Fuck. Me and all the homies in the class, we definitely talking about him. Yeah, we in the group chat like shit. We texting like, yo, y'all see this dude? Fuck, he got going on. Like we caution. You feel me?
I was still staring, trying to piece it all together, when the lockdown alarm blared. The classroom froze. This wasn't the half-hearted monthly drill tone. This was the shrill, pulsing wail they'd only tested once, the one that meant inescapable danger. Everyone under...
Bro, if y'all ever had a real lockdown in school, bro, like a real one, not no drill, a real shit, like someone's in the building. You feel me? Like that shit is like, I ain't gonna lie, you be getting a little nervous, like you feel me? You know you in the class, but you be like, because you automatically assume the worst is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
desks, Mr. Rowan said, unnervingly calm. He didn't look one bit surprised. As we scrambled for cover, I caught a glimpse through the classroom window. Police cars silently pulling into the parking lot, officers crouching behind vehicles, weapons drawn. My heart hammered against my ribs. My uncle's a cop. Those weren't positions for a drill. Mr. Rowan didn't follow protocol. He didn't check the lock or turn off the lights. Instead, he pulled down the blinds with deliberate slowness, watching the police through the narrow gap. Something changed in his face, a tightening around the eyes, a twitch at the corner of his mouth. That's how I knew they were here for him. I reached for my phone, but his hand clamped down on my wrist. His grip was crushing, nothing like a teacher's warning touch. No phones, Hannah.
What? Man, if he would have reached for what?
If he would have touched my arm, talking about no phone. What? I mean, what I would have hit him with one of those. What you mean don't? What you mean no? What you mean no phone?
Who the hell are you grabbing my arm like that for? Shit, you just a substitute. Don't get it misconstrued.
Had raised the hair on my neck. I know you're a good girl. We hadn't done roll call. His other hand emerged from his pocket holding a hunting knife, not a
Oh no. Oh no. Nah. There ain't no dudes in the classroom? Why y'all letting him do this to her? None of the guys in the classroom finna get active? Like, what's up? Damn, there's no way y'all just letting this ride.
Pocket knife, but a serrated tactical blade at least 6 inches long. The kind hunters used to gut deer. The fluorescent lights caught its edge as he turned it slowly. Everybody's phones now. Tyler caught my eye from beneath his desk. His jaw was set, and I recognized the look. The same one he'd had before breaking his arm jumping off Miller's Cliff last summer. Reckless determination. I shook my head fractionally. You know what's funny? Mr. Rowan said, collecting phones in a metal trash can. How easy it is, walking in with a briefcase and a smile. He chuckled. No one checks, no one inquires. You just say you're from the district office, and they hand you a classroom full of kids. A soft whimper came from somewhere in the room. He whirled toward the sound, nostrils flaring. Shut up! His voice changed, dropping any pretense of normalcy. Or I'll give them something to find besides the janitor. Janitor? I froze. Mr. Keller had been missing since Monday. Suddenly, a knock at the door
he
made
definitely killed
everyone
him.
flinch.
Mr. Rowan?
Miss Riley's panic-filled voice boomed. In one fluid motion, he grabbed me, pressing the knife against my throat while pointing it threateningly at the rest of the class. His eyes swept the room with a promise that screamed, "Make a sound, and I start with her." Through the door's small window, I could see only Miss Riley's silhouette, not her face. She couldn't see what was happening inside either.
They're evacuating the East Wing. They found...
Her voice dropped.
Just stay put until officers clear your hallway.
Found what? My pulse roared in my ears. All present, he called back. The moment she left, my chair creaked. I had shifted. His head snapped, pupils dilated so wide his eyes looked black. You moved, he said, voice eerily childlike. No one's supposed to move during lockdown. He lunged, grabbing my hair and yanking me up. The knife pressed under my jaw, cold metal against my pounding.
Man, can someone sneak this someone gotta do something, bro. Y'all all just sitting there like, damn. I mean, it's too late now. He facing y'all now. But y'all could have snuck him when he was like crouched down and shit. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the door at the other teacher. Man.
All of you, he commanded. Against the wall. My classmates stood up, trembling.
Y'all some
You're coming
hoes.
with me, he whispered in my ear, his breath hot and sour. Suddenly, Tyler launched himself from behind a desk, swinging the metal leg he'd twisted off of his chair. It connected with the substitute's knee with a sickening crunch. The man howled, slashing wildly. The blade caught Tyler's arm, opening a gash that immediately bloomed crimson. But the distraction was enough. I slammed my elbow into his ribs and broke free.
Everyone get him!
I lunged
Yeah,
for the
get his
classroom
ass.
door, jabbing the emergency button.
Room 207!
I screamed into the receiver.
He's got a weapon! He's not a teacher!
The substitute's face contorted with rage. He limped toward me, knife raised high. I've gutted people for less! He snarled, lunging forward, but Tyler tackled him from behind. They crashed into desks, a tangle of limbs and blood and fury. Other students joined in now, desperation overcoming fear, throwing books, chairs, anything to slow him down. The door burst open. 2 officers rushed in, weapons raised, shouting commands that blurred together in my adrenaline-soaked brain. The substitute was pinned, cuffed, dragged upright. As they pulled him past me, he turned, his face inches from mine, and smiled. Promising, terrible, like a death mask carved from flesh.
Man, if you don't get your ugly, rotten, you like just go, bruh. What you looking at me for?
Disappoint me, Hannah, he whispered, so softly only I could hear. I know where you sit, what you smell like when you're afraid. They shoved him forward, but he looked over his shoulder, mouthing 2 words. Next time. Later, we learned the truth. Samuel Ketch was a man wanted in 3 states for crimes against kids and teenagers. He'd walked out of a maximum security psychiatric ward 2 days earlier, leaving 3 orderlies dead with their throats cut, the same way they'd found Mr. Keller, our janitor, stuffed behind the boiler in the East Wing basement. The real substitute
Hell
had been
nah.
found in the trunk of his own car, 3 miles from the school. Sometimes at night, I can hear that soft click of the box cutter. I've switched schools, but I check the substitute's cuffs every time a regular teacher is out.
Yo, that shit is crazy. What the fuck? Bro, them lockdowns is no joke for real. Yo, that was a
I keep
that was wild.
replaying that moment in my head. The moment when Liam let go of my hand. The moment I should have held on tighter. It was supposed to be a normal Friday. Mr. Carter droning on about quadratic equations while I texted Liam about weekend plans.
Hey, yo. What the fuck was he doing under that desk?
Droning on about quadratic equations while I texted Liam about weekend plans.
Nah, he ain't texting nothing. He touching the Hey, yo.
Just 2 more periods until freedom. No one saw it coming. Ryan had always been strange, quiet, lurking in corners.
Ew. Yo, what's up with these fraud? The dudes in these classrooms look fraud. Damn. Buddy is chopped. Yo, watch out. You probably back there staying.
People for too long, but he was just another weird student at our high school. People made fun of him, but I tried my best to be nice to him.
I ain't being
We
nice to
exchanged
that.
smiles a few times in the hallway until Liam told me that he was getting creepy vibes from him, and I stopped looking his way. Then he was lost in shadows. Until that day, the school intercom came to life. Attention, this is a lockdown. This is not a drill. Please go to the designated safe areas immediately.
Oh shit.
At first, no one moved. Then I saw Ryan sprinting past our door, a huge knife in his hand. His hands were dripping red. The hunting knife in his grip glistened under the neon light.
Nah, see? That's why me personally, I'm being cool with every weird motherfucker that's in my school. Me. Cause if something like this were to pop off, I need to be the one, I need to be the one like, give me give me the heads up before you do some shit like this. So we good. You feel me? The rest of them, but me and you, we here with it. Let me know when you finna pop off and do your little thing. I ain't gonna snitch, but just make sure I'm good though. Make sure I'm safe. Cause when a motherfucker like him running around with a knife, oh yeah, he's going after everyone who made fun of him. He's going after all the teachers who treated him different. He's going after the janitor that looked at him sideways that one day. He's gonna have no boundary. Like you gotta know that, bro. Like all the weird motherfuckers, I'm making sure I'm cool as hell with them. Cause I ain't getting caught up in no based on a true story news. Never.
But his eyes, God, his eyes, they were completely empty. Black pools that seemed to soak up the light around them.
Hell no.
His lips were curved into a smile that gave me goosebumps. Someone was screaming. Mr. Carter rushed to the door. "It's jammed!" he shouted, panicked. Bang! Ryan slammed against the door, laughing, a high, childish giggle that didn't match the blood smeared across his face. "Let me in," he sang, voice lilting like a twisted nursery rhyme. "Let me in or I'll blow your pretty little heads off!" Liam grabbed my arm. "Noah, help me!" he yelled, dragging a heavy desk toward the door. We slammed it against the frame, just as Ryan's knife slipped through the gap, narrowly missing my eye. "I can smell your fear, Noah, baby." Ryan sniffed through the crack, inhaling deeply. "It's delicious." His eye pressed against the small window in the door, bloodshot and unblinking. "I've been practicing for this day, Noah. The others didn't scream enough. I know you'll shriek."
What type of shit you on? Man, I swear to God, you know how shook I would be if I'm in the classroom and this crazy ass motherfucker is wilding like this? Looking like a big ass creepy Shrek. Man, oh my God. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm so glad I never had no crazy encounter like this in no lockdown situation, because, bro, that shit would creep. And the shit that would blow me is that lockdowns, bro, teachers be giving the worst advice ever. I don't know what protocol they put out there that schools have to follow, that you gotta go to the corner of the classroom and everybody gotta be quiet. And on my life, and when there's a real drill happening, the motherfucking girls that be scared are never quiet. No, they're gonna make a fucking sound, or if someone's banging on the door, like boom, 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 let me in, boom, boom, boom. I guarantee you, them girls is gonna be the first ones. Me personally, before Shorty could even scream, no, shut the fuck up. Cause then you finna endanger all of us. You gonna have to take this one blow to the throat, maybe knock you out real quick. But I'm not about to have you exposed where we at. Make him think the room is empty. I never understood why they tell us to go to the corner of the room and stay out of sight and no one make a sound. That shit blew me. Nobody make a sound. You know someone's gonna make a sound. Cause in a real situation, so someone with a weapon outside, they crazy looking like him, talking about boom, 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 open up, help me. With that creepy shit, someone's making a sound. And I'm not allowing that motherfucker to make a sound. I'm throwing elbows, whatever. If I gotta strength, whatever I gotta do, because I'm not finna die in GTA.
Ran down my spine as his tongue darted out, licking blood from his lips. Suddenly, we heard shouts in the hallway. Teachers and security dashed in, momentarily distracting the monster. Ryan stepped back, tilting his head like a curious animal. "Hide and seek," he whispered. "Ready or not." "Now!" Liam hissed, and we yanked the desk away and fled. The hallway was a nightmare. Sprinklers drenched everything, making the floor slippery with pinkish water. Bloody handprints smeared one wall where someone had dragged themselves away. Two freshmen huddled by the lockers, clutching bleeding wounds. "He cut us and then just watched," one whimpered. "Said something about loving our pain." Halfway down the hall, I saw Ryan standing motionless at the other end, knife raised, head tilted at that unnatural angle. He removed his hoodie, revealing a vest covered with wires and bulging packages. "No more running," he called, voice echoing. Then softer, almost intimate. "I need to see inside you, Noah." We ran. Liam slipped, crashing into the lockers. Before I could help, Ryan was there, moving unnaturally fast, knife slashing. I swear his feet barely touched the ground. I ripped a fire extinguisher from the wall and swung it, connecting with Ryan's shoulder. He didn't even...
Man, he's big as hell. Ugly as shit. Souped off of mad adrenaline. Smiling like shit's funny. And you think a fire hydrant finna do something to him in the shoulder? You gotta get that 45. You need to do something. You need to at least whack him in the head or something. That boy looked like he weighed 230. Trying to murder people, and you think a fire hydrant is oh my god, bro. Come on, man.
Just smiled wider. "That tickles," he giggled, eyes dilating. "Want to see what real pain looks like?" He lunged at Liam, who barely dodged the blade. By then, we had reached the emergency exit. Through its window,
where are the
red and
officers
blue
at?
lights flashed. Help was waiting. Liam turned to me, face pale with terror. "You go first," he said, voice shaking. "No, we're going together."
We don't have time to talk about who's going first. We need to find a way to we need to get the fuck. That's what we need to do. We need to dip. Why are y'all standing there? My son Ryan, the crazy dude, over there sitting with a smile on his face, looking at y'all like, what are y'all gonna do? And y'all over there conversating? Oh no. Yeah, nah. Y'all just asking for it at this point. Y'all conversating right now? For real? Oh yeah. Yeah. Y'all must love them. Y'all must be watching horror movies and y'all actually like the dumb shit that they do in the movies. Bringing that to real life.
His wrist and he shook his head. "Don't waste time! Hurry!" I stepped through the door, cold night air hitting my lungs. I turned back, reaching for Liam, our fingers connecting. That's when I saw Ryan behind him, appearing like a shadow. His eyes met mine as his arm plunged forward. "No!" I screamed. The knife entered Liam's back. His eyes went wide, mouth opening in a silent gasp. Ryan's face transformed with pleasure, eyes rolling back slightly as he twisted the blade. His tongue darted out again, tasting the air like a snake. Beautiful. He sighed, as if witnessing something transcendent. The cops were running toward us now.
Bro, bro. Oh my God. It all boils down to the cops. Where the fuck was y'all at 10 minutes ago? This dude had time to stab 2 people, watch them bleed out on the floor, peek into the classroom on some ugly shit, run down talking about some let's play hide and seek, go to the end of the hallway, go back up the hallway, and then stab my son Liam. And now y'all just pulling up? Holy the cops don't give a shit.
But
Damn.
Ryan wasn't done. The blade flashed again, driving into Liam's side with a wet sucking sound. I couldn't let go of his hand. I couldn't. Just hold on, don't let go, I begged. Blood bubbled from Liam's mouth, but somehow he managed to smile. Live your life, mate, he whispered, his fingers going slack in mine. And then he let go. I screamed as his hand slipped from mine, as his body crumpled onto the concrete. The cops tackled Ryan, who didn't resist. He just stared at me over their shoulders, smiling that unnatural smile. I'll see you in your dreams, Noah, he said, voice carrying impossibly over the chaos. Hours later, I sat on the curb outside the school, wrapped in a shock blanket. Someone had washed Liam's blood from my hands, but I could still feel it, sticky between my fingers. The paramedics couldn't save Liam. He was gone before they even closed the ambulance doors. As dawn broke, I stared at his bloodied school ID, trying to focus on his smile rather than Ryan's words. Sometimes at night, I still feel Liam's hand slipping from mine. I wake up grasping at air, trying to hold on tighter this time, but I can't. And somewhere in juvenile detention, Ryan waits. The guards report he doesn't sleep.
How
just
old are
sits
they?
Perfectly still, staring at walls, smiling. Sometimes, in the darkest hours of the night, I swear I can feel him watching me through the miles between us. And in my dreams, he whispers that he's coming for me, that he wants to finish what he started, that he needs to see inside me.
Nah, that shit was wild.
I was halfway through my second cup of coffee when the call came. It was Mrs. Gallagher, my daughter's homeroom teacher. While sobbing, she told me the school was in lockdown as a mad high schooler got in with a gun. The mug fell from my hand and shattered on the kitchen tile. I grabbed my keys and raced out the door, already dialing 911. I ignored the traffic
You know them
laws.
cops
The
is not
only
finna
thing in
show
my
up.
head was Bloom, my daughter, my only child. She was all that was left of my wife Claire, who died 5 years ago. I'd raised Bloom alone, shielding her from everything, and now she was still in a school with a kid with a gun. The outside of the school was in total chaos. Police cruisers, ambulances, and fire trucks blocked the road with their flashing lights illuminating the
How are you
pavement
finna get inside?
with violent streaks of red and blue. Officers in tactical gear yelled orders into the radio. Parents were gathered at the barricade yelling for their children. I shoved through the crowd, barely able to breathe. Derek, step back! It was Officer Brady from my neighborhood. I grabbed his sleeve, my voice raw. My daughter's in there. She has asthma. She could suffocate. Let me in. He shook his head firmly. We have it under control. You need to stay back. You don't understand, I hissed. If she panics, she could collapse. She needs me. Brad's expression didn't soften. We'll get her out. You just have to let us do our job. For a moment, I stood
Yo,
there,
that's
fists
tough,
clenched
bro.
and my body
As a
shook
parent,
with
you'd
helpless
probably be
rage.
mad as
I could
shit,
hear
bro,
the cries
panicking.
of parents ringing in my ears, but I was not going to be still while my daughter was in there. I slipped back away from the crowd and gingerly walked around to the back of the building. I discovered the loading dock, which was completely empty. There were no officers and no
You
barricade.
finna sneak in.
That's when I saw it. A window, slightly open, big enough for me to squeeze through. I didn't hesitate. I pushed the window up, climbed up onto the ledge, and fell inside. My hands stung after the fall, but I didn't care. I was inside the building. The hallway was dark, with flashing emergency alarms projecting dim red lights. The sounds of faint sirens wailed in the background, but were muffled by the heavy silence. I moved slowly, hugging the wall. My breath came fast and shallow. Every step felt too loud. Suddenly, a loud gunshot made my ears ring. Down the corridor, windows shattered, sending glass cascading onto the tile. My legs locked for half a second, but then I moved, faster now, toward Bloom's classroom. I knew precisely where it was. Turn left, room 214. I spotted her through the window. She was crouched under a desk with 4 other children. Her little fingers held onto her inhaler,
Damn,
but
she
she
looks
was
sick.
gasping too much to use it currently. Her lips were pale, and her chest rose and fell in small, short breaths. I didn't care if I exposed myself. I opened the door. Bloom! I hurried to her and got to my knees. Her eyes widened in recognition, but there was no voice. Her fingers were fumbling with the inhaler. Breathe, not baby, just like we practiced. I could hear the shake in my voice.
Nigga, did you close
Nice
the
and
door when
slow.
you came in?
Her hands were too shaky. I took her small hands and guided the inhaler to her lips. Take a deep breath. Hold. Okay, count to 3. That's my girl. Behind me, a boy maybe 10 years old pulled at my sleeve, barely supported by his voice. He's coming. I stiffened. Footsteps. Heavy. Slow. Deliberately. The shadow appeared first, stretching against the wall. Then he stepped into view. A kid, probably no more than 17 or 18. His face was still a mess of zits, but his eyes were empty. He was carrying a shotgun in his hands. His eyes were flicking to the classroom
he's
door.
strapped up.
He couldn't see me yet. Move, Derek. Now. I shoved Bloom into the wall, leaning against her. He lifted the gun and fired. The tube lights overhead shattered, exploding glass. The kids screamed, crying under their desks.
Oh my god, bro. Bro, see, this is what I was talking about earlier, bro. Someone's gonna make noise, bro. In a real situation like this, people are gonna freak out. People are gonna bug out. If I'm the parent, I'm knocking every kid the fuck out. No, all y'all need to be quiet. Y'all need to be quiet in this situation because you are about to blow our whole cover, making all that noise. Oh my goodness, like, bro.
Bloom was holding on to me, squeezing my arm with her fingernails. I didn't think. I lunged. Hey! I yelled, grabbing a chair and throwing it at him. The metal leg smashed into his ribs and he stumbled backwards, the shotgun falling out of his hands. Run! I screamed. The children took off, gripping one another, sobbing and finding their way to the hallway. Bloom's legs weren't holding her, and her air was short, but she still moved, breath short and quick. Go, baby, don't stop! I shouted. The assailant regained his footing, charging me into the wall. I hit my head on the plaster and my eyesight blurred. He was on top of me, fists flying. I could taste blood. My ribs were screaming at me.
You let a 17-year-old whoop your ass? Man, oh my. Nah, bruh. You let a pimple-faced 17-year-old whoop your ass, gang. Oh my god, bro. You need to get back in that gym, brother. Yo ass trying to be a hero. Yo ass getting whooped by a 17-year-old kid.
My fingers closed around something cold sometime during the fight. The shotgun. I squeezed it and swung it wholeheartedly. Bone broke. Blood splattered. He sagged onto the tile, moaning. I outstretched my arm as I rolled off the floor. My ribs were writhing, and my knees wanted to fold in on themselves, but I forced myself to move. As I staggered out of the building, the first thing I saw was Bloom in Officer Brad's arms, crying uncontrollably with her face buried in his chest. Bloom! I yelped, my voice cracking. Her head snapped up. She broke free from Brad's hold and ran toward me, arms outstretched. I held on to her, gripping her so tightly. I worried that I might break her. I felt her tears soak my shirt. I kissed her forehead, again and again, swallowing back my own tears. I'm here, baby, I have you. You're safe. She was alive. She was safe. And so was I.
Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, that's it for the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Leave a like down below on the video. You feel me? And I'm gonna holler at y'all in the next one. Peace.